Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how to get you started in sketching your layout. So now when I say sketching, I mean drawing on a piece of paper with a pencil. You might think, well, aren't we designing our website and graphics on the computer? The answer is yes, but you need to understand the best graphic and web designers first plan their thoughts of designs on paper. So that is exactly what we are going to do. Also, towards the end of the lesson, I'm going to show you how to place your sketches that were scanned in from a scanner to your computer in Illustrator. So let's just start with our first one. Now, there's some things we need to remember. We need to remember balance, grouping, hierarchy, and we're going to use the grid. I'm going to teach you how to use the grid in Illustrator, and big, medium, and small. So if we go to our first approach, now let's just talk about balance. When I say balance, I mean literally think of a scale, and if one side has more elements than the other, the side is unbalanced. So we need to keep in mind that balance is very important in designing our layout. Now, if we look over here, there's a logo and a form that was created, kind of a 3D, three-dimensional shape with a little rectangular shape that connects both. I really like the effect. I thought it was like, here's our company, tell us what you think. But the balance from there to here wasn't very balanced. This is more flat, and this kind of seemed a little heavier. It's a really neat effect, but it just was a little too heavy on this side, a little light on this side. So that's what I kind of didn't like. Now let's talk about the big, medium, small. Big, medium, small is a variety in size. You want to have big sizes, medium sizes, and small sizes. You do not just want to have one size throughout the whole page. To build interest in your page, you will use the big, medium, small method in designing your layout. So over here, here's like a medium, here's a big, and here's a small. So we do have big, medium, small elements, but still this first approach isn't quite what what I want to stick to. So let's go on to the second approach. Now the second approach, I was kind of getting into it, but I was pretty disappointed. I wanted to find a way where to put the form, but the only place I could really find it was right up here. And I don't want it up there. I wanted some on the side, but I decided to put links down here, which took up all the room, and content. And these boxes I would use for almost like topic headers on what's going on in with the content of this column. That's what the title is here. And these were going to be the videos. After looking at this, it kind of looks, logo, video, same size, not very, I don't know, didn't flow right, kind of unbalanced in a way, and it kind of shows that, oh, watch the video, but it's okay, you don't have to read the content. But the content is pretty important. But the thing is, you don't want very long content. You want simple, strong, and bold content. So that is that. And if we talk about grouping, we want to make sure we are grouping the correct content with each other. We do not want to confuse the viewer. So we set things up on the page that is pleasing to the viewer. For example, in Western cultures, we read left to right and top to bottom. So when grouping things on a page, we need to make sure we group the correct content. Now let's look at the very last approach. Now this is the final layout I came up with. Let's first just go over hierarchy. We need to remember this because we want people to come to our website and want to visit again. We need to keep our audience in mind for our layouts. Without our audience, no business. No business, no nothing. So we want to keep in mind of our audience, not just what we like, but we need to think of, well, what does our audience want? What makes them interested? So here's the final layout I came up with. I came up with large links with the topic, header, layout type, color, and imagery, along with a kind of just like a little blurb of what goes on that page right underneath it. I chose to have kind of a solid border just hovering over the top. I'm still debating on if I want the logo to bleed off of the top, the left top side, but for now I just left it floating on the left side. For the main content, I decided to create some sort of graphic that connects two boxes to each other, so there's no separation here. So it connects the content to the videos, which makes it flow from left to right. And just a simple footer. Now, one thing I really want to show you on here is the grid. Now, a grid is very important, just like we were talking in Modernist Design the last time. There's this grid option in Illustrator, and I'm going to show you. So if we go to View, and we go down to Show Grid, you notice this grid, you know, it's like graph paper, like in math class. It's the same thing. We see this grid, and it kind of helps, you know, us line up everything. So when we sketch and we bring our sketches into Illustrator, which I'm going to show you next, the grid option is very convenient. It helps you really imagine the modernist design with all the grid, and that's what we want. So there's the grid option. But if I was fortunate that the grid showed up in the front, but what if something happened and it showed up in the back? So most of yours might look like that. You notice the grid is in the back but not in the front. So that's the thing. So let's do that all over again so you can see what I mean. So what we want to do, we want to go View, Show Grid, but it's in the back. So in order to change that, we go to Illustrator, Preferences, Guides, and Grid. And we want to uncheck the box that says Grids in Back. And we'll push OK. So that's the grid option. It's an excellent option for designers, especially modernist design, because we want everything organized, balanced, and all of our elements grouped in the correct places. Modernist design and this design, I'm going to take the grid off so I could see better. Modernist design and this website specifically, I would have to say, are the horizontal linking and the logo. That is the main important elements on the page, and that's what modernist design is used for. So now let me go on and show you how do you place your sketches in Illustrator. So let's start from the beginning. We're going to go File, New. Now, New Document Profile, it might be on print, that's pretty default, but we want to change it to web. And let's just name this Layout Sketches. We'll press OK. So here's our new document. Now, to take our sketches, now what you have already had to do was scan your sketches into your computer, and hopefully they're saved as a document that Illustrator reads. The one that's most common is a PDF. So if you can save your scans as a PDF, oh, it would be absolutely perfect. So let's go File, Place, And like I said, I like to save mine to the desktop for small projects, but it looks like I have a lot of projects, so please ignore that. But we're going to use final.pdf first, and then we're going to push place. This other dialog box will come up. Just push OK. So now there's our first one. And I'm just going to resize it because I'm going to bring all of them on this page. Now let me bring in my layers and show you. So that final layout is on the first layer, and we are going to create a new layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go File, Place, and First PDF. Place. Okay. And then we're going to resize that again. We don't have to resize it in the future. I'm just resizing it so I can show you that all of them can go on one document. Then we're going to click on layer 2 and push this button right down here, and it says create new layer. So layer 3 comes up. We're going to go File, Place, scroll down to second.pdf, Place. Okay. And then let me just resize that. Okay, so we are done. So we went over the things in sketching our layout. If you forgot anything, please feel free to rewind and go back and hear what I mentioned earlier. And here you see that all of our sketches are in one document, but you can always create separate documents if you like, but since we're making slides and screencasts, we want them all to be in the same document. But it's not that hard because they're all on different layers. I could take the eye away and it'll go away, so it's absolutely fine. So I believe that is it. So remember, if you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to comment below. And exactly what I just said, if you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to comment below. Thank you.